Welcome to Resilient in Business, a podcast where we dive into insights, strategies, and systems to help you build scalable, thriving businesses. My name is Jad Atwe. I'm an engineer, an entrepreneur, and a business coach. Our intention from this show is to provide value and inspire entrepreneurs to keep pushing forward no matter the challenges. If you enjoy the content, subscribe and help us spread the message. Now, let's get into today's episode. I'm excited for this episode. Today, I'm joined by Henk Overbeek. Henk is the owner of AIDOS Accounting Services. They are located in Bulgaria, and he's been in business for a very long time and has a lot of insights to share. Welcome, Henk.
Thank you, Jad, for the opportunity for this conversation. And yeah, looking forward to talk more about my business and about Bulgaria. So let's go.
Let's do it. Absolutely. So let's start with the journey. Like, how did we get to where we are today? How did your career evolve?
It's an interesting and a long story, actually. The company AIDOS, we started 20 years ago. We had actually our birthday earlier this month. Yes, the company deals with accounting, consultancy, business consultancy, and it was never my focus. It was never something I thought I would ever do. But I came to Bulgaria more than 20 years ago. I started meeting people, foreigners in Bulgaria, talking about setting up businesses, and little by little, together with my now wife, she's an accountant. We started helping out people for various administrative small things. And doing so, yeah, the idea was born to, well, let's ask some money for it, and after that, well, maybe we should start a business doing it, and that's how we started. I kept on meeting people, bringing home the business cards and the contacts. Daniela would sort it out. We started from home with computer, a software license, and a English Bulgarian business dictionary, and was the whole setup of the business. And we continue doing that. We grew slowly but steadily, and by now we employ 20 people and are serving a bit over 200 companies. And through the 20 years, more than 1,000 companies have passed our.
It's a nice scale, nice size, 20 employees. Is this the I'm curious, like, is this the vision that you had for the business when you first started, or like, how did the vision evolve?
The vision itself was not planned straight from the first start to say, okay, this is my goal in 5 years. I want to be here. It grew naturally. It grew spontaneously. Later in time, I thought a lot about it. How can I scale this and upscale this and become a multinational? Well, we didn't get there yet. That's not. Yeah, it's not off the table. Or you never know. And when it grew, it became more about managing the staff and the clients and the turnover, and to balance that out. That was more the focus than really focus on growth. Even at some point, I thought, okay, this is going a bit too fast. Yeah, we can't handle that speed of growth. So I really increased my prices with a lot, so in the hope that it would slow down, and it didn't. It didn't.
And
It
that's a good
only
problem to
got
have.
more. Yes, yes.
So let's dig more into, like, what are the challenges that you've encountered scaling it? I mean, growing it to be a 20-person team.
Well, both Daniela, my wife, and me, we were not, when we started, we didn't have much experience as managers, as entrepreneurs, yeah, we did it with a good heart and servicing people, but not from a business background. So when you start employing people and managing people, you first to find the right people for you. That is a challenge in itself. And when you have them, to guide them and to lead them in a way that they are happy and that the company is happy. So these are challenges. And finding people in general is, is not a problem, but a challenge. Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely, especially the good ones, the ambitious ones. You have to motivate them.
Yes, and it's also about salary levels, and possibilities. About it's also financial calculation. Yeah, it's a spreadsheet. I get this, I pay this. There should be something left in between, and how I'm going to do that.
I'm curious, like what type of businesses do you find that gravitate and want to work with you guys?
When we first started, it was foreigners coming to Bulgaria. In the first years, there was a lot of interest in property, cheap property in Bulgaria, a lot of foreign investors from all over Europe, from England, from all over the world. At that time, to buy property, you needed a company to be able to buy the property. So that was a thing, package we offered. And when you have a company, there is minimal legal requirements on bookkeeping, annual tax returns. So that was an added service. So that was a thing. And further, people. I'm from the Netherlands, so I was in a Dutch community. So basically, it were the Dutch people and Belgians who were interested in Bulgaria for several reasons. Low salary costs was at that time a thing. 10% flat tax is useful, of course. That the tax benefits, low costs, adventurous, but also bigger companies that grew into IT companies trying to set ground in Bulgaria, and we helped them out. So nearshoring, offshoring companies, both for sales actually.
What do you find in your experience? Like, how can an accounting firm stand out? For me, my experience with accountants, I guess there's two questions. First, how can an accounting firm differentiate itself?
Well, by excellence, I think, by being good at what you do, by being transparent in your promises, say what you do, be open with your clients. Don't lure them into something where you can get some money, but where you know what actually is not okay. So be honest and straightforward about possibilities. And even if that means that they won't become a client, I better be true and honest than chase the money. That's
Over the years, like my experience with my business, I've went through so far to date 4 accountants. Hiring the right accountant has always been a challenge.
yes.
What do you recommend?
Well,
So what's the best?
yeah. Well,
This is your account.
if I would take you as a client, I would start. What do you want from me? What do you expect? What is it you are looking for? And I always, in most cases, I do initial conversations with new clients or prospects or interested people. And these are questions I ask. How do you see it? And what is your experience? If you have previous experience, where did it go wrong? Or what makes you look for a new accountant? Explain or see if I can match that expectation, or at least be open and straightforward enough to say, well, with me, you will have the same problem. Yeah. Or I understand you, but it's a common problem with accountants, and we will do our best. It's often communication, proactiveness, language. In my case, language, because it's foreigners with the Bulgarian accountant, with the Dutch manager. So I have actually become a kind of translator from expectations from a client to the practical execution of the accountants. They know it all, but they don't have the skill to express that in the same way as to someone who doesn't understand accounting.
Hey, a quick commercial break. This podcast is brought to you by Business Optimization Partners, a firm that specializes in helping entrepreneurs systemize their business and transform it into a professionally managed asset that is scalable and easy to operate. If you wish to learn more, download the guide to running a professionally managed business that's available in the description. Now, back to the episode. It's always a personal relationship. I find it's either two. My problem with them, it's either they don't know the industry fully, the intricacies of the specific type of business that you're in, or it's or it's just what you just stated right now, just being a person having this like honest connection.
Yes, it is about trust and building trust, but it's also about being honest to yourself. The Bulgarian habit or way of life is no problem. I can do it without, and then not doing it or not following up or not knowing it. Where in more my character or by culture where I come from, I would rather say, well, Jad, now this is out of my scope of possibilities and I can't do this. But if you wish, I can help you find a better solution. I will not make a promise I cannot make. And that means sometimes that I won't get the client. But yeah.
So you're seeing lots of businesses are interested in doing business in Bulgaria.
Yes, it is. It has been from when we started, it has shifted from property, a lot of people with property, to adventurers or tax evasion, people straightforward for tax evasion, to, more serious businesses expanding into Europe, finding new markets, optimizing costs, or just they like Bulgaria as a country to hang around. That also happens here.
What do you find like those people should know about the country of doing business in Bulgaria that they are not typically aware of or that they're surprised about?
It's a nice question. It's what I often tell people before they jump into business here, and they are going to spend their money and their time. But what I often advise, and still, but in the past maybe more, is come and visit Bulgaria for a week. Yeah, travel around, have a look, get a feel of the people, get a feel of the culture, get a feel of because it is different. It's the other culture if you are from the Netherlands or from elsewhere in Europe. And what exactly is the difference? That's people are kind, the hospitality is high. But it is what I said. They will easily say, "Oh, no problem. I have a friend. I will fix it." And that you cannot rely on that statement. That's what I've learned. So that's, I think, the most important. And then another thing, what in the past much more than now, but Bulgaria was a bit known as a mafia country. Everything was fixable. You could find someone or pay someone. You won't have problems here. And it's not like that anymore. People still think that it's the wild east or the wild west, where you can do whatever you want, but it's really strict and regulated. Yeah.
So, I mean, you mentioned you're subject to different types of businesses. What are the major like mistakes that you find business owners do?
Having with the Western attitude of let's do it and let's fix it, and I know what I want, and I'm that's how I'm going to do it, without having much consideration about the practical execution and legal consequences or administrative consequences of their actions. You do need to follow rules, and you cannot change governments or laws. Yeah, you have to comply. You have to be compliant within reason, whether you like it or not. And that's if you want to have a company here, you start having obligations and a set of rules which you have to follow. And one of the things what regularly comes is VAT. For example, we file monthly VAT. That's by law. Yeah, but at home we do it once a year or every quarter, or I can choose. Let's call the tax authorities and change that. Well, that's not happening. Yeah, yeah, that's just not an option, and you have to file every month. That's it.
This is what makes accounting a good business, I guess. Or
Yeah, well, that is. I had a call. I had a call this week, or a conversation earlier this week with a guy, a Bulgarian guy actually, who has a company in the UK, and he says, "Well, my accountant has more work in the UK, but is cheaper than my accountant here in Bulgaria. Yeah, and the administrative burden is high here. Yeah, the set of things you have to do is more than in another country, and that makes it a good business. But to explain to someone who pays less in a Western country and comes to Bulgaria and has to pay more here for the same service, that's not an easy job.
There's a learning curve going into any new country, any culture.
Yes.
How to do business, how to interact here.
Yes. And it is finding the right people, and if you find me, that helps finding the right people.
Of course.
So you have to be a bit lucky. You have to be lucky with that, or do your research well. Advice, come and spend a week in Bulgaria before you do anything is very valid, actually.
It's an interesting advice. Like, are people this? Do they want to start businesses before visiting? You're finding that the case?
Yeah, I get a lot of inquiries. I heard about Bulgaria, 10% tax. I want this and this and this. Can I do that and set it up for me? Yeah. And in the past, we would have done that, but I learned that I do need a conversation face to face with a person to see if it is going to work out.
For them. And so I've learned that you've been into life coaching recently.
Mm-hmm.
What made you interested in that field?
Life coaching, it came a few years ago as a thought. Having some went into more the philosophical life questions. What is it all about, and how do I go from here? Maybe it comes from age or midlife. People may say that. And I got interested, and I started a course. As a self-discovery journey, as a way to grow and expand myself, to learn. It was not straight away my intention to make business out of it, or to set up a coaching business, which I still may do at someday. It was, I think, mainly for myself, and it was it was very nice. I learned a lot, and it helped me a lot in being more connected with my staff, with people around me, I'm being a better listener, so to say. And I learned that in the 20 years business to be very good to learn what people expect, but life coaching surely has helped me to become even better in that.
So when I first heard about life coaching, I'm like, what's this? Like, is this a real job? Like, someone wants to coach me about life? Like, it just didn't register. But
yes,
for those that don't know, like, what's life coaching about, and where do you find it? Yeah, where do you find is the application? How are you using it? What's the best application for it?
well, we all are people, and we all have moments in our lives that we get a bit stuck or don't know exactly where we want to go or how to realize our dreams, get out of a negative cycle of habits, and we struggle. And what life coaching is for me is to talk with someone and listen to what is the struggle, and by being open and being present in that conversation and pointing out for that person, have you thought about this, or how do you see this, asking powerful questions, basically, to help that person to step out of the circle of habit and the circle of thinking, and to start seeing their issues or their challenges from other perspectives. And in general, that helps a lot to continue or to achieve goals, or I think that's about it.
And do you find it helpful in managing the team and working with the colleagues?
Yes, but initially I tried to apply and to work with the team, but I think I tried it a bit too hard, so they got a bit tired of me trying to coach them. But still, my manner and my ways of communications can improve. Where I see it maybe more is in my contacts with prospects, where I can more deeply be curious and ask, okay, you want this, but how is this going to work? Yeah, how is this? What is your dream, or how do you really see it? Are you aware of this? Yeah. So I think in my initial contacts with prospects, I can come to a deeper understanding with the people what they actually want. I think that is a very good application or use of life coaching knowledge or background.
Knowing you for a while, Hank, I realized that you don't sell people. It's yeah, and it's an interesting way of doing business. It's
Yes.
being more relaxed, learning about people, trying to see if you can help. Like,
Yeah.
is this
Yes.
the secret to scale the business?
Yeah, the secret, it's maybe who I am as a person, and also my wife. We serve, we help. I like to inform people properly, give them all the information, the data set they need to make the right decision for them. And that is what I do. I inform people. I share my knowledge, my insights, my thoughts to help them to make the right decision and to prevent them from making mistakes in stepping into an adventure in Bulgaria without the real intention to sell to them. And I never, in initial meetings, the word sales or pricing or often doesn't come up initially. I say, okay, take this with you and think about it. And if you want to go move on with it, you know where to find me. And by doing that, you build trust and you build credibility, and or they make the decision, oh gee, maybe this is not the right thing for me, and they step out of it, which is then probably the right thing for them to do. And if they still say, okay, yeah, no, thank you, and but it was useful, let's do it, then they get an offer, and then we start working.
This podcast is called Resilient in Business. I'm curious, along those 20 years of being in business, was there a point where you said, okay, I had enough, I want to quit? What challenges have you been through?
Yeah, there have been all kinds of moments that it has been tough or challenging. Some 10 years ago, we went from quickly from 5 to 10 to 15 people. We were not so careful in checking our clients' credibility and intentions. It was just go with go in the rush. And and then you have to match that with enough personnel to take the amount of clients. And so, yeah, we had management issues, the wrong people, negativity in the office, lazy people. And also clients whose intentions were not clean or proper. It was about hardcore tax evasion or money laundering. And we have had serious problems, with companies we have served and have been questioned by tax authorities and secret police authorities and European. We have been questioned. So at some point, yeah, you say, is it worth it? Yeah, what are we doing it for? Is it all this stress and all these troubles? And yeah, of course, there are moments where you say, maybe it's been enough.
It's an interesting point to bring out right now because I know from my part, like sometimes there's moments where you want to fire your clients.
Yeah.
Taking this, I mean, to what you said before, taking this relaxed approach and approaching them at the beginning is very important to understand, is this the
Yes.
right person to work with?
To work with, yes. I'm not chasing clients at any cost, at any point, I am careful. I do want to have some reasonable understanding set before I start doing the business with them.
What's your advice on team building? How are you motivating the team? How are you making sure that you don't have lazy people, you don't have toxic people? What's
Yes. Well, I think transparency is important. I have not always in 20 years not always been full-time involved here, and we have left it to colleagues to run the business. There's at some moment we had the situation that one or two people, it was like divide and conquer practice. To see is secretive a bit, and that has never been my approach. My team should know what we are doing, why we are doing it, how much we are doing, and what we are doing it for. And I think being transparent with them about decisions, about finances, about they are accountants. They see how much their clients, how much they pay. So I cannot keep too much secrets anyway. And if they want, they can talk among themselves, and they will be able to make the full picture pretty easily. So my approach would be give it to them, yeah, give them the overview. Here, this is where we are, this is where we want to go, and I need your help to get there. Yeah, and if we get there, you get this. But I can't do it. I can't do it alone. I need your expertise and your input as well.
I was surprised when you told me that you don't have an accounting background and you've stayed an accounting firm to this big. Like, it's just it's not an easy task to accomplish.
No, it is to a great extent because of Daniela. She is an accountant and she knows she's good at the accounting part. And maybe that's also part of our success that I am not an accountant and that my focus is different there, that I try to make this match between Bulgarian technical operational accountant and regulations to shape that into an understandable form for people who are new here. Yeah, that's part of our strength actually.
What's your advice to business owners as we wrap up? What do you feel that people should know about when they want to come to Bulgaria, when they want to work with you, so that they're better prepared and making the right decisions?
Yeah, do your research, talk with people, make it clear. You don't have to write a full business plan, but get clear what your costs are going to be, and don't be surprised about finances afterwards or about regulations. Which I want to set up a tour company and set it up for me, and then okay. When they already have paid half, you have to tell them, okay, you also need a license of €5,000, yeah, to start to be a tour operator, yeah. So you need to, for any kind of business, yeah, do your research on that. And we provide a lot of knowledge, information, but don't rely just on me. And that is what I think the best advice. And visit the country. That is one of my key things. Visit the country.
So if someone wants to get in touch, work with you guys, what's the best way?
Go to our website, aidosbg.com. There is a contact form, and that's the quickest. And a Calendly link for the meeting, and that's actually the best way to do it. That's set up very well, and I get it directly in my email box, and I get back the same day.
Henk, this was amazing. Thank you for all of the insight.
Thank you for the opportunity. I've enjoyed talking about it.
Thanks for tuning into the Resilient in Business podcast. This show is all about providing valuable insights and inspiring entrepreneurs to keep pushing forward no matter the challenges. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and help us spread the message. See you on the next one.